Hosted in conjunction with Chris Media, the CEO interview series allows investors to hear directly from the CEOs leading the companies featured on Wholesale Investor. Enjoy the interview and reach out via the details in the description.
Hi and welcome to another Crisp TV Q&A. Today I'm joined by David Ingram, CEO and co-founder of CrowdProperty. Thank you for joining me, David.
Thanks, Sydney. Great to be here.
Excellent. So David, look, just to start with, how about you give us an overview of CrowdProperty, CrowdProperty Australia as well, who you are and what this business is all about.
Yeah, CrowdProperty Australia, very excited to introduce it to Wholesale Investor. If you've not seen already, we launched here in May last year. We're a specialist marketplace lender, bringing together wholesale investors with exclusive small property developments. They're all residential. We directly originate all the projects, so they're probably not projects you will see elsewhere. And I guess we're really solving the pain points on both sides of that marketplace. On the one hand, you've got the banks, which are really failing our small property developers here. They do not receive the speed, the ease, the certainty, or the transparency that our developer clients are looking for. Mm-hmm. And as you know, I probably don't need to tell you this, but on the other side of it, with record low interest rates, we've obviously got wholesale investors who are looking for better returns in quality, residential Australian asset-backed project loans. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you to expand on a few of those points. You put quite a few there. So just to start with, let's talk about the problem you identified in the space when venturing on this idea and to execution to where you are today. What were some of the key problems? You touched on a few there, but do you mind expanding upon them and giving us the user journey so that we can understand, just how severe of a problem this was when you identified it?
Yeah, look, when I identified it, I had actually exited my previous prop tech business to the loan market group, which is part of the Ray White group. And I got more and more embedded into, I guess, the loan side of things. I was actually working with my accountant on running a managed investment scheme. Mm-hmm. And what I hadn't really realized was for small property developers, just how hard it was to get into banking finance. And that was sort of echoed when I was in the setup process of kind of running focus groups, talking to the guys I knew, just all the pains. It's very hard to get finance if you're a small developer. You might get the first or second project funded if you can service the loan. Mm-hmm. But after that, if you're actually looking for commercial finance, it's really quite difficult. And even if you can get in, it typically can take 3 to 6 months to get a decision. Now, if you're sitting on land for that amount of time, that's a real pain point right there. So that speed, ease, and certainty which we can provide is really kind of helping answer that question.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So the market here is a developer of a certain size or profile who's finding it hard to receive financing and the pains that come with holding sites and the delays involved. So where are they going now instead, before this solution came to market? Where would they go to find that financing? What's an alternative path?
Yeah, look, there's lots of non-bank lenders out there. There's private individuals who've been doing this. This kind of concept of private lending is not new, probably to your wholesale investor audience. Solicitors have been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. I guess what we bring is the property expertise. If you're a wholesale investor, you can invest directly in project loans. You've got the capital to deploy, but how do you know you're investing in the right project? Yeah.
So you're saying there's a sort of side to CrowdProperty where you're discerning the deals for those who are financing it. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're new to Australia, but we've actually been doing this in the UK since 2014. So 7 or 8 years of lending over there, and we've inherited not just the technology platform, but actually all the expertise, the IP which gone into that, and that includes an ever-evolving 57-step due diligence process. Now, comes back to that direct origination model. We want to talk to borrowers directly. We want to build that relationship. And yes, like any other financier, the project's got to stack up. It's got to make financial sense. We've got to be able to offer that term sheet. But having that in-house expertise, we can actually add a lot more value through that due diligence process, which enables us to select only the best projects to put up on the platform.
So you've got the due diligence undertaken by CrowdProperty, and then the platform allows for obviously an efficiency element of exchange between the private lenders and the developers. And have you seen both sides of the market come back to you with feedback on the efficiency of the platform as well, David?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I mean, in terms of I went looking for obviously solving the problem here, went looking for a technology solution to help me scale it and build, I guess, a more customer-centric model. Um, but in terms of what the technology delivers, to give you an idea, in the UK, we're launching 2 or 3 projects a week at the moment. On average, there's 2,000 lenders on each project, and each project is closing in under a minute on the platform. So,
Oh, wow.
37 seconds, 45 seconds, consistently under a minute.
So it's an active database, is what you're saying, and it's working well and it's very efficient. And they're obviously trusting the due diligence process on the side of. So you guys have been around since 2014, you said, in the UK, right? So you've validated that market. Tell us about your experience in the UK market, some key achievements. So I guess that's an indication of how you're going to go here in Australia, right?
Yeah, look, they've been very successful over there. Yeah, it's continuing to deliver strong growth. The platform's attracting diverse sources of capital, not just wholesale investors, retail investors, but also institutions on the platform. They're all looking for that yield, quality, and security, which I guess CrowdProperty has been able to proven to deliver, right? So recently, I think you would have seen on the Wholesale Investor on the Chris platform, we announced a £300 million funding line from a global investment manager. And that's really complementing the wholesale investors and retail investors, which are investing alongside them on the platform. So it's that diversity of capital which enabled us to keep lending, as I just described, throughout the pandemic. So even when institutions pulled back, there was still wholesale investors and retail investors, keen to get in. It's almost like concert tickets trying to get into projects I sort of described in the UK. So.
No, that's amazing. It's a great sign as to where you guys are going. Now, in terms of the target profile being wholesale investors, you kind of touched on this, but why is that? Why is a target profile wholesale investors that you're trying to attract as the investor profile for this platform?
Yeah, look, they're an important part of that diversity, which I was talking about. Obviously, for regulatory reasons here, we're starting with wholesale investors. But we also know we all love property here, right? And being able to offer directly originated projects, which they won't see anywhere else, the opportunity for wholesale investors to invest through various structures. So whether you're investing for a trust, a company, self-managed super fund, it's a great way to diversify your portfolio into, as I said, asset-backed project loans of high quality. They're adding value. And as I said, the platform just enables you the ability to diversify that portfolio easily, compared to, if you look at the alternative, if you've got that property itch you want to scratch, what's the alternative? You've got to invest directly into, property, and we all know that's even just the overheads are increasing on that, let alone property prices.
Absolutely. Now, you've brought the solution to Australia. You've spoken about this. What are you excited about when it comes to the Australian market? I mean, what are some key achievements so far, or feedback from the market you received so far that should sort of excite us if we're involved with CrowdProperty?
I think just the uptake, like I talked about the pains, but we've grown a pipeline rapidly. We launched in May, and I think almost by the time just before we were heading into that first lockdown, we've got over 100 million project loan applications.
Wow.
And that's just continued to grow. So it's proving that there's a real pain point there. I think the response from, as you know, we were out raising a seed round, which we oversubscribed. We're very fortunate. We're able to bring in a select group of, I guess, investors who are going to partner with us, and they have that spread of, I guess, expertise, ability to open doors, from wealth managers through to family offices who invest in property, to property developers themselves, to serial entrepreneurs who've made their money in technology and can see the ability that the platform gives us to scale what has been, up until now, quite a traditional business.
Understood. So we've got a great gauge now on the past, the validated market, some good indications of success, or things that allude to future success as well. Tell us, what's as a parting question, David, to those who are potentially prospective users or investors. What are some key goals you're looking to kick in the next 6 to 12 months? What are some milestones that sort of lay in your immediate near future that we should be keeping a track on?
Yeah, well, we're actively looking to diversify that investment fund. We're in some interesting talks with some institutions as well. So you'll be looking to see them probably come on and help us scale the projects we can offer on the platform. Obviously, looking for more projects time. So, it's a small world out there. I'm sure plenty of people watching this will know property developers who are experiencing these pains. So I've asked them to get in touch. But then I see some real opportunities which we'll be able to do, and which will be able to leverage our investors' investment, their capital, to help kick some goals in affordable housing. One of our first projects actually was probably an upmarket co-living project down in Melbourne. We want to get into more in the sustainable housing space. I think as a financier, we've got a genuine opportunity here to make a difference to building, some really great, sustainable and affordable Australian homes.
Absolutely. Well, for those who are interested in understanding more about this business and the investment opportunities involved, we will have a link to the deal room at the side of this screen and in the description. And David, thank you very much for joining me today, and good luck with the venture into the future.
Thanks very much, Sydney. Looking forward to the next event.
See you then. Bye.